In the silence of your own thoughts, there lies a battlefield. Every day you are engaged in a war. A war not of weapons or violence, but of beliefs, thoughts, and habits. And this battle, this internal war, is the most significant one you will ever fight. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, yet it is also the most misunderstood. People look to the outside world for solutions, for opportunities, for answers. But the truth is, everything you need to succeed, to create, to build, to become, it starts in here, in the confines of your mind. What you believe about yourself, what you believe about the world determines everything. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your beliefs give birth to your actions, and your actions carve the path you walk. For centuries, the world has been full of giants, men and women, who defied the odds, who shattered the ceilings of what was believed to be possible. Think of Edison, who transformed the world with a single imperfect light bulb. Think of Ford, who dared to think beyond the traditional and in doing so revolutionized the entire industry. Think of Lincoln, who looked into the face of despair and despite it all chose to act. These men were not born with an extraordinary gift. No, they were born with a mindset. A mindset that refused to accept the limitations others placed on them. A mindset that understood deep down that every impossibility was merely an opportunity to find a solution. A mindset that turned failure into fuel and used adversity as the stepping stone to greatness. You are no different. If your mindset can shift, if your beliefs can transform, so too can your life. But it all begins with one crucial thing: clarity. Without clarity, you're adrift. Without clarity, you are a ship lost in the fog, unsure of where you're headed or why. But with clarity, you see the path, no matter how winding or difficult it may seem. With clarity, you don't just know where you're going, you feel it. Every cell in your body resonates with the knowing that your destination is not just possible, but inevitable. To achieve the impossible, you must first know exactly what it is that you want, not what the world tells you to want, not what your family or friends think is right for you, but what you truly desire. You need to strip away the noise, remove the distractions, and discover the vision that beats in your heart. What is the one thing that calls to you? When you're alone, when the world is silent, what is the one thing you are willing to die for, to fight for, to sacrifice for? Once you have that vision, that unshakable clarity, you will find a force within you that can move mountains. This is where belief begins. Belief is the invisible foundation upon which all success is built. You cannot build a mansion on shaky ground. You cannot launch a rocket without a solid base, and you cannot live your best life without belief in yourself. It's not about blind faith. It's not about hoping things will work out. No. True belief is rooted in action. It is understanding that every step you take, no matter how small, is a confirmation of your vision. When you begin to believe, you stop waiting for the world to give you permission. You stop seeking validation from others. You know deep inside that you are the creator of your destiny. This belief transforms your perception of the world. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You see potential where others see failure. You understand that setbacks are not signs of defeat. They are simply tests, challenges placed in front of you to determine your resolve, your commitment to your vision. And you will never quit. Not because it's easy, but because you believe in the outcome. You believe because you know that the road to success is not a straight line. It is a winding, unpredictable journey that tests every fiber of your being. It is a journey that requires discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. Without discipline, you're simply floating along, letting life take you wherever it pleases. But with discipline, you're in the driver's seat. You take control. Every choice you make, every habit you build is a conscious decision to move closer to your goals. Think of the greats, those who have achieved what others thought impossible. They didn't rely on luck. They didn't wait for the right moment. They knew that success was a daily practice. It was the small, seemingly insignificant actions repeated day after day, year after year. It was waking up at 4 a.m. when the world was still asleep. It was pushing through when every ounce of your body wanted to give up. It was making the difficult decisions, The sacrifices, the choices that no one else was willing to make. This is the price of greatness. It is not easy, it is not glamorous, but it is necessary, and it is in the moments when you're tested, when you're pushed to your limits, that you discover who you truly are. You realize that your mind, once trained and focused, is capable of achieving the impossible. But belief and discipline alone will not get you to the finish line. You must also be willing to adapt. The world is constantly changing, so the road ahead is rarely the same as the one you've walked before. If you cling to old ways of thinking, if you stubbornly refuse to adjust your approach when things aren't working, you will be left behind. You must be flexible, open to new ideas, new solutions. Adaptability is the key to thriving in an ever-changing world. It is not enough to simply be strong. You must also be smart. You must understand that the world will throw curveballs your way, and those who survive, those who thrive, are the ones who learn how to adjust, how to bend without breaking, how to grow through the challenges. To achieve the impossible, you must be a lifelong learner. You must seek knowledge wherever it hides in books, in experiences, in conversations with mentors, in moments of reflection. Every failure is an opportunity to learn. Every setback is a lesson in disguise. The people who achieve the extraordinary are not the ones who know the most. They are the ones who are willing to learn from the most unexpected places. And finally, as you embark on this journey, as you chase after the impossible, you must never forget the power of gratitude. Gratitude is not a mere feeling of appreciation. It is a force. It is the energy that fuels your journey. When you are grateful for every step, every lesson, every challenge, you attract more of what you want. You elevate your vibration and invite more success into your life. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you that there is always something to be thankful for, no matter how difficult the road may seem. And when you're grateful, you radiate positivity, and that energy attracts opportunities. People and circumstances that align with your goals. When you combine clarity, belief, discipline, adaptability, resilience, and gratitude, you unlock the power to achieve the impossible. But the most important factor, the one that separates those who succeed from those who give up, is action. You must take action. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Right now. The journey begins the moment you take that first step, no matter how small. Action is the force that moves your dreams from the realm of possibility to the realm of reality. Every day you delay, every day you hesitate, is another day your dreams slip further away. So, what will you choose? Will you continue to wait for the perfect moment, perfect plan, the perfect conditions? Or will you decide today, right now, that you will step into your power and take the first step toward the impossible? The giants of history did not wait for the perfect circumstances. They saw the future and they made it happen. They didn't ask for permission. They took action. They knew the power of the mind, the power of belief, the power of discipline. They understood that success wasn't a destination. It was a journey, a relentless pursuit of growth, of progress, of becoming. And now it's your turn. You have the same power, the same mind, the same potential. It's all inside you, waiting to be unlocked. The question is, are you ready to master your mindset and step into the life you were born to live? The impossible is waiting for you, and it begins right here, right now. The truth is simple. The secret to wealth is not hidden in some distant land. It's not buried in a vault, and it's certainly not tucked away in the hands of a few fortunate souls. The secret to wealth lies inside you. It lies in the power of your mind, in the strength of your beliefs, and in the unwavering conviction you have about your own potential. The greatest wealth the world has ever known was created not by what people did, but by what they believed they could do. Do you believe that you are capable of greatness? Do you believe that success is not a matter of chance, but a matter of choice? This is the starting point. If you do not believe in your own ability to achieve wealth and success, then no amount of strategy or hard work will get you there. The first and most critical step is building unshakable belief in yourself. Without it, all the resources, all the opportunities in the world will pass you by. but with it you are unstoppable. Let's take a moment to think about some of the greatest wealth creators the world has ever known. Thomas Edison, a man who failed thousands of times before he finally created the light bulb, understood that belief was more important than anything else. He knew that failure was not a reflection of his abilities, but simply a lesson on how to get closer to the goal. He believed that he was destined to change the world, and he did. His unshakable belief in his vision and himself was the foundation of his success. Think of Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who rose from poverty to become one of the wealthiest men in history. Carnegie didn't just have a vision. He had an unshakable belief that he could bring that vision to life. The world told him his dreams were impossible, but his belief in himself was stronger than the obstacles that stood before him. His wealth wasn't just a result of his business acumen, it was a product of his inner conviction. And what about Walt Disney? A man who faced rejection after rejection, who was told he had no imagination, who was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Yet Disney believed in the power of his ideas and his vision. He believed that he could create a world that would inspire generations. And today, the empire he built is an undeniable testament to the power of belief in oneself. So why do you hesitate? Why do you doubt yourself when the same potential that made these men great resides within you? Wealth is not just about money. It's about the richness of experience, the wealth of opportunity, and the abundance that is created when you fully step into the belief that you are worthy of success, that you are capable of achieving greatness. The true secret to wealth is not in a formula or in a secret code. It's in your belief. It's in the belief that you have everything you need within you to succeed. That you can transform your life by simply changing your thoughts, by changing your mindset, by shifting the way you see yourself and the world around you. Because here's the reality: what you believe you become. If you believe that you are destined for mediocrity, that's exactly what you'll get. But if you believe that you are capable of more, that you are destined to create something extraordinary, then you'll find a way. It's not about waiting for the right opportunity. It's about seeing every moment as an opportunity to step forward, to take action, to build the life you've always imagined. But belief alone is not enough. You must back that belief with action. Belief gives birth to vision, and vision gives birth to action. Without action, belief is just a dream. But with action, belief becomes reality. Every great achiever, every person who has created wealth, success, or legacy in their life did so because they took action, even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. Ask yourself this: how often have you allowed fear or doubt to keep you from taking that first step? How many times have you said, "I'll wait until I have more information," or "I'll wait until the conditions are perfect"? The truth is, the conditions will never be perfect. You will never have all the answers, and there will always be risks. But that's where faith comes in. Belief is not about waiting for certainty. It's about moving forward despite uncertainty. It's about acting in the face of fear, about using every obstacle as fuel for your journey. It's about understanding that the road to wealth is never a straight line. It's a journey full of twists, turns, and detours. But no matter the obstacles, the wealthy mind is always in motion, always finding ways to move forward. It does not sit and wait for the perfect moment. It creates the moment. It takes action and learns from every mistake, from every failure. This is the mindset of the wealthy. This is the mindset of those who have built empires. They take ownership of their circumstances and their destiny. And they refuse to let anything, not fear, not failure, not doubt, stand in their way. The path to wealth also requires clarity. Without clarity, your actions are aimless. Like a ship lost at sea, clarity is the compass that guides you through the storm. When you know exactly what you want, when your vision is clear, you become unstoppable. But here's the catch. Clarity doesn't just come from thinking about what you want, it comes from deciding, it comes from making a choice. This is where many people falter. They want success, but they haven't fully committed to it. They haven't made a firm decision. They think they can try for success. But trying is not enough. Trying is a passive act. To create wealth, to create the life you want, you must commit fully, you must decide. This decision must be firm. You must decide that no matter what happens, you are going to do whatever it takes. You are going to rise when you fall. You are going to learn when you fail. You are going to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. This is the unshakable decision that will carry you through the toughest of times. Once you have clarity, once you have decided, you will find that the universe begins to open up. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will start to appear. Doors that were once closed will open. People will begin to help you, guide you, and provide you with the resources you need to succeed. But none of this will happen unless you first believe that you are worthy of success, and unless you take decisive action toward that success. The secret to wealth lies in the belief that you can achieve it. The secret to wealth lies in knowing deep within yourself that you are capable of creating greatness. And the secret to wealth lies in taking relentless, focused action toward that goal without ever allowing fear or doubt to stop you. You are the master of your own fate. You have the power to build the life of your dreams. But first, you must believe in yourself. You must believe that you're worthy, that you are capable, and that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Because once you believe that the world will have no choice but to deliver what you desire, so what are you waiting for? Your wealth is waiting for you. Your success is waiting for you. But it all begins with one simple thing: believe in yourself. There's a harsh truth that few are willing to face. The reason most people fail isn't because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunities. No, the reason most people fail is because they lack one thing: action. It's not about dreaming. It's not about wishing for success. It's about doing. Dreamers dream, doers make it happen. We all know those people, the ones who talk about what they will do, the ones who spend hours planning, scheming, visualizing their future, yet somehow they never actually take that first step. They create grand visions of success, but they never move past the starting line. But there's a stark contrast to this. Look at the people who have actually achieved greatness. People like Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. People like Henry Ford, who revolutionized the automobile industry, not by dreaming of it, but by doing it, and failing and learning and doing it again, better, faster, more effectively. Look at Walt Disney, who was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination, yet built an empire that inspires millions. They didn't sit and wait. They didn't plan for the perfect moment. They acted. The difference between dreamers and doers is not in their ideas, not in their intelligence, not in their circumstances. It's in their ability to take action when others hesitate, when others are paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. But let's pause for a moment and think about this. Why do so many people fail to act? Why do they wait for permission to succeed? Why do they second-guess themselves, sit on the sidelines, and wait for the stars to align? The answer is simple: fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear that they might not be good enough, fear that their ideas aren't worth pursuing, fear that the journey will be too hard. But here's the truth you need to hear. Success is not for the faint of heart. If you want to build something extraordinary, if you want to achieve what others say is impossible, you have to understand one fundamental principle. You will fail. Failure is part of the process. It's not something to be feared, it's something to embrace. It's the inevitable companion of those who dare to do. The question is, when you fail, will you give up? Will you let that failure define you, or will you use that failure as fuel? Will you stand up and keep going stronger, wiser, more determined than before? Look at anyone who has achieved anything meaningful. They will tell you the same thing. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning how to rise every time you fall. When you think of Edison, you don't think of the thousands of failed attempts. You think of the light bulb, the revolution that transformed the world. But what made Edison successful wasn't the idea. It was the tenacity to keep going, the willingness to fail, to learn to adapt. He had an unshakable belief in the power of his vision, and he refused to let failure stop him. The same is true for every major figure in history, from Alexander Graham Bell to Steve Jobs. What separates those who create history from those who simply wish for it is action. It's the ability to push past fear, past self doubt, and take that first step no matter how uncertain the path may seem. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying that action alone is enough. You can run around in circles all day, take 1,000 steps, but if you're not moving in the right direction, you're still stuck. Direction is everything. This is where many dreamers fail. They act without clarity. They chase after every shiny object, every new idea, without knowing where they're headed or why they're going there. They act, but they act without purpose. Purpose is the driving force behind all meaningful action. Without it, your energy dissipates and your efforts are scattered. When you act with purpose, you are no longer reacting to life. You're creating it. Your actions are aligned with your deepest goals and they are powered by a burning desire to turn your vision into reality. Purpose gives you the strength to endure. It gives you the resilience to push through the toughest challenges, to stand firm in the face of setbacks. It keeps you focused, keeps you on track, and makes sure that you're not just busy but productive. It ensures that every action you take is a step closer to your goal. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked in this conversation: belief. If action is the fuel that propels you forward, then belief is the engine. See, no matter how much you act, if you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't believe in your own ability to succeed, you will hit a wall and you'll stop. You will question everything. You'll ask yourself, is it worth it? Can I really do this? And when that doubt creeps in, the road to success seems long, daunting, and impossible. But when you believe in your potential, when you believe that your vision is worth pursuing, when you believe that success is not a matter of luck, but a matter of doing what is required, your actions take on a new energy. They become unstoppable. You become unstoppable. Belief is the most powerful force in the world. It is the invisible force that guides the hands of creators, innovators, and game changers. It is the force that propels you through the dark. The force that keeps you moving when others have long given up. Without belief, action is a leaf blowing in the wind. With belief, action is a tidal wave, unstoppable, relentless, crashing forward until it reshapes everything in its path. And here's the real kicker: belief isn't something you're born with, it's something you create. It's built through your choices, through your mindset, and through your consistent actions. Every time you act with purpose, every time you take one step forward, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Every time you push through fear, through doubt, through uncertainty, you reinforce the foundation of your success. But it all starts with one simple thing: the decision to act. Because action, no matter how small, is the first step toward change. It's the difference between being a dreamer and being a doer. You can sit and wait for the perfect moment, for the stars to align, for the conditions to be just right, but they never will be. The perfect moment only arrives when you create it. So ask yourself this: what will you choose today? Will you choose to dream, or will you choose to do? We all face moments in life where the path ahead seems impossible. Times when failure feels inevitable. When the weight of the world presses down on you, and when every step forward seems to be met with a new challenge. In those moments, it's easy to believe that success is for others, that maybe you've been left behind, that your dreams are too far out of reach. But here's the truth you must understand: setbacks are not the end, they are the beginning. The question is not whether you will face failure, but how you will face it. Failure, disappointment, and rejection are part of every journey. But while they can be painful, they're also the seeds from which success is born. Those who rise from the ashes of failure are the ones who understand the power of resilience. They are the ones who refuse to let setbacks define them. They take the blows, absorb the hits, and rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. Look at the greats of history. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Henry Ford went bankrupt multiple times before revolutionizing the automobile industry. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he was deemed uncreative. But did they let failures stop them? No, they used their setbacks as fuel. They didn't just survive their failures, they transformed them into stepping stones. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall behind isn't the absence of failure, it's how they respond to it. Resilience is not about avoiding adversity, it's about building the strength to push through it, to take the lessons from failure, the pain of rejection, and the frustration of defeat, and use it all to fuel your next move. This is the power of resilience. It's the ability to bounce back when life knocks you down. It's the inner strength that tells you, this is not the end. I will rise again. And let me tell you something important. Resilience is not a trait that some people are born with. It's not a talent reserved for the lucky few. Resilience is something you can develop, something you can cultivate, something you can master. It's built through experience, through the choices you make when faced with difficulty, and through your commitment to never giving up. You see, resilience is not about being perfect. It's not about never failing or never feeling the sting of defeat. It's about your response. It's about getting back up after you've fallen. It's about refusing to let setbacks determine your future. It's about learning from your mistakes, using them to grow and moving forward with greater clarity and strength. And this isn't just some motivational cliche. There's a science behind resilience. Studies have shown that our brains are wired to adapt to challenges and to learn from adversity. When we face setbacks, our brains actually undergo changes that make us stronger, more resourceful, and more capable of handling future challenges. So every time you face a setback, every time you experience failure, your mind is being honed, your resolve is being tested, and your capacity for success is being built. But that's the thing about resilience. It's not just about bouncing back, it's about transforming your setbacks into something powerful. It's about using your failures to fuel your growth. And to do that, you must embrace the one thing most people shy away from: discomfort. Resilience is born in the fires of hardship. It thrives in the moments when life challenges you, when the world pushes against you, when your dreams feel so distant that you question whether they're even worth pursuing. This is the crucible where strength is forged. The most resilient people are not the ones who have lived a life without hardship. They are the ones who have faced the storm and decided to keep going. They have learned to dance in the rain instead of waiting for the storm to pass. They have understood that adversity is not an obstacle. It's a necessary part of the journey. Without it, there would be no growth, no evolution, no real success. Think of the tree in the storm. It doesn't stand firm because it's made of steel. It stands firm because it has learned to bend with the wind. The strongest trees are the ones that have endured the harshest winds, the longest droughts, the most unforgiving storms. They bend, they sway, they adapt, but they never break. That's resilience. And so must you. Now I want you to ask yourself, when faced with adversity, what is your first response? Do you shrink back? Do you give up? Do you let fear and doubt dictate your actions? Or do you stand firm, face the challenge and say, this will not break me? Because let me tell you, your mindset is everything. How you think about failure, how you think about challenges will determine your future. If you see failure as the end of the road, if you see setbacks as something to avoid at all costs, you will remain stuck. But if you see every setback as a lesson, as an opportunity for growth, you will continue to move forward no matter how difficult the road gets. You have to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing failure as something negative, start seeing it as the greatest teacher you will ever have. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have accomplished incredible feats. What did they do when they faced failure? Did they give up? No. They saw each failure as a lesson, a guide that pointed them towards success. And this, my friend, is the key to resilience. The ability to transform setbacks into stepping stones. Every failure is a chance to improve. Every disappointment is an opportunity to reassess and realign. Every moment of frustration is a chance to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This mindset is what separates those who rise to greatness from those who fall by the wayside. It's the decision to take action despite the fear to keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're walking through quicksand. It's the courage to face your failures head on and transform them into something that propels you forward instead of holding you back. The more you practice resilience, the stronger it becomes. You start to develop an inner certainty that no matter what happens, you'll find a way. You begin to understand that success isn't a straight line. It's a winding path filled with obstacles and setbacks. But every time you overcome one, you grow stronger. Every time you rise, you become more capable, more confident, and more unstoppable. You wake up each morning and you feel the weight of the world. The alarm clock rings, dragging you out of your dreams and into the reality of the day ahead. Your mind starts to race, filling with thoughts of responsibilities, tasks, obligations. You wonder sometimes whether the grind of life is worth it, whether it all really adds up to something meaningful. But here's the truth. It's not about the grind, it's about the vision. The fuel that drives you through each day is not your to-do list, not the deadlines, not the responsibilities, it's the purpose that lies behind it all. The reason why you get out of bed, why you push yourself to keep going when things feel impossible. Without purpose, the grind becomes meaningless. With purpose, every step is a victory. Purpose is not just a word. It's a fire, a force that keeps you going when others would quit. It's a force that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. But here's the catch. Purpose alone is not enough. You cannot simply have a vision for your life and expect it to come true. Vision must be followed by discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. It is the concrete that holds together your dreams and turns them into reality. Think about the greats of history. Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb, was driven not only by vision, but by an unrelenting discipline that kept him going even when failure seemed inevitable. Henry Ford, who transformed the automobile industry, wasn't just a dreamer, he was a doer. A man whose purpose burned so brightly that nothing could extinguish it. Walt Disney, who was told he wasn't creative enough, didn't just have a dream of an empire. He had a disciplined commitment to see that dream come true. These were men who understood that without discipline, even the most powerful vision remains just. That a vision forever unattainable. The problem with many of us today is that we mistake ambition for purpose. We confuse wanting with doing. We think that the desire for success alone is enough to get us where we want to go. But ambition without purpose is like a car without an engine. It might look good. It might even sound good for a while, but it won't take you anywhere. Purpose, on the other hand, has direction. It's your why. It's the reason you're willing to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. It's what gives your vision meaning, and it's the engine that propels you forward. But purpose doesn't exist in a vacuum. It requires action. It demands discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay focused, to work relentlessly towards your goals, even when the world around you is chaotic. Discipline is doing what you said you would do even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early to work on your dreams when everyone else is sleeping. It's putting in the hours when there's no applause, no recognition, no guarantee of success. It's doing the work, not because it's easy, but because it matters. Without discipline, your vision remains just that, a distant hope. Discipline is the muscle behind the vision. It's what turns dreams into reality. And here's the truth that most people won't tell you. Discipline is not an inherent trait. It's a skill. It's a skill that you can cultivate through consistent action, through the courage to show up every day, even when you'd rather not. And the beauty of discipline is that it compounds. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. It's like building a muscle. The first time you try, it's hard. It feels awkward. You don't see results right away. But if you keep at it day after day, you begin to see change. That's the power of discipline. This is where most people falter. They start strong. They're excited. They have big dreams, but as soon as the going gets tough, they stop. They're motivated in the beginning, but that motivation fades when the results don't come as quickly as they expected. But here's the secret. Motivation is unreliable. It's fleeting. It comes and goes. If you depend on motivation to carry you through, you will fall short. Motivation is like a wave. It rises and crashes. Discipline, on the other hand, is a constant force. It's what keeps you going even when the wave of motivation has passed. And here's something even more important. Discipline is what makes the impossible possible. When you combine purpose with discipline, you create a momentum that is unstoppable. a relentless forward push that refuses to be deterred by setbacks, failures, or obstacles. It doesn't matter if the path is difficult. It doesn't matter if others doubt you. It doesn't matter if you feel overwhelmed. With purpose and discipline, you become an unstoppable force of nature. This is not just a mindset. This is a way of life. This is the way of the highest achievers, the ones who have turned their visions into empires. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the power of purpose, the strength of discipline, and the unshakable belief that you can make it happen. So I want you to ask yourself right now, what is your vision? What is the thing that burns inside of you? What is it that you truly want to achieve, that you truly believe in? It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The conditions will never be perfect. The world will never give you permission to chase your dreams. You must take action. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to your vision. And with each step, your purpose grows stronger, your belief deepens, your discipline strengthens. There are no shortcuts. There is no magic formula. The only way to turn your vision into reality is through consistent, disciplined action. It's about showing up every day. It's about putting in the work day in and day out, even when no one is watching. It's about making the decision that your dreams are worth the effort, no matter how long it takes. The greatest achievements in history weren't born from one moment of brilliance. They were born from years of focused, disciplined effort. They were born from a relentless pursuit of purpose, from a decision to keep moving forward no matter what. And now it's your turn. The question is, are you ready to put in the work? Are you ready to commit to your vision? Are you ready to embrace discipline and let it propel you to the success you've always dreamed of? Because if you are, there is nothing that can stop you.